Right in the beginning, right in the start. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Ashley Eckstein, James Arnold Taylor, Matt Lanter, and Dee Bradley Baker. Woo! Yes, if you're not standing up, what are you doing? I want to invite you, if you're not currently standing in front of one of the microphones for questions, to get in front of those right now, because they are going to fill up very, very quickly.
You will stand in front of the microphone.
And Ashley, you can move a little closer to us.
Hannah?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we don't bite.
Are we family?
I do run into tables, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kick our feet up here.
Yeah.
It's glass.
How incredible is this audience, you guys?
Look at you
Hello,
guys.
everyone.
Yeah.
Hold up your lightsaber.
Oh, my gosh.
Very
Are you
cool.
all here for us?
Okay, so I do see some good lines starting, so I just want to start by asking one question to everyone, and then we'll turn it over. What is your favorite comic convention you've attended, and why is it Emerald City Comic Con?
I think it's because we've got these beautiful, comfy couches instead of stiff chairs on stage.
This is
It's
fantastic.
all about the couches.
I think it's all about the aesthetic. Look at this. Now, for all you sound nerds, this is doing wonders for the way it sounds in here, but look how beautiful it is in here. Huh?
I
Seattle
think
knows how to party, huh?
Yes!
I think it's about the people.
Yes.
That's what makes it the
It
best
is
Comic
about
Con.
the people.
It's a very beautiful, sexy audience.
Yes. The force is strong in here. Although I see a red light, I have a bad feeling about that. Can we change that to blue? Oh no! Over there! Anakin! They're attacking! No! Oh, come on,
that's your
where are the
cue.
blue lightsabers? Oh, there we are. Yes. Oh, purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got orange.
Very good. Ah, look at that.
doing the
Yellow,
back.
orange.
Yeah.
God, I like that. Yes. the
Purple,
force
questionable
is strong.
choice. Sith or Jedi, who can say? All right, are we ready to throw it to the fans?
I think we should.
See what we have
Yeah.
to say?
Yes.
We'll start on my left, which is everybody else's right, and we'll go back and forth.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Matt.
Hi, Matt.
With Star Wars being, Star Wars, me, Matt, not you, Matt.
Sorry, I was confused.
There's a lot
I
of
was
French-
asking the question.
Matt, what's your question?
Matt, what's
All right, I'm being, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm ruining your moment.
I did a good job of helping you with it. So, with Star Wars being, Star Wars, what it is, there's a lot of things you expect when you come into that universe. What was the least expected thing that happened when you joined the universe and became the characters?
Oh, should we let Dee answer? Because Dee Bradley Baker, one of the most talented people on the planet, the voice of every single clone, is here with us, and we are thrilled to have him. Dee.
Well, for me, the most unexpected was that it just kept going, and that the first great unexpected was finishing the Clone Wars properly, which I never thought that was going to happen. So that for me was the big unexpected right there. I'm so glad that Dave and Disney and everybody thought to do. That was wonderful.
Thanks to the fans. You guys never gave up on us, and you kept going out there, save the Clone Wars, save the Clone Wars. You did it.
Across multiple platforms.
And I would say this and this. We have a family now. We were just saying backstage that we've been friends and we genuinely love each other now for 17 years. And then the fact that we're here with all of you, my favorite thing about Star Wars is just our community and the fans. And because we're fans, we are literally giant Star Wars fans. So the fact that we get to geek out with you and that you get to geek out with us, that we just love Star Wars so much. And I feel like we've gained a Star Wars family all over the world, and I'm super grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to this side. Say your name and where you're from.
My name's Calvin. I'm originally from Aurora, Colorado. The Navy sent me to Paulsboro, Washington.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything that you have done in service to Star Wars. I would say that you guys have helped save the prequel trilogy, made it enjoyable for generations to come, not just my generation growing up. One thing I wanted to ask you guys is, when you do your recording sessions, do you guys do it individually or as a group, and how does that affect the dynamic when you do those?
Yeah, Dave, oftentimes in voiceover, you are by yourself. It's pretty common, but Dave was pretty adamant that we were all together. So most of the episodes we recorded all together, except for pickups, we would come back and kind of fill in things. But for the most part, we were all together, and I think that really helped our dynamic. As you know, there's a lot of banter in Star Wars. There's a lot of banter here and a lot of banter there, and it's.
What are you pointing at me for?
It's really helpful to be in the same room. You get to play off each other's energy, so I think we all enjoyed that quite a bit.
And so these guys were always making me laugh. Like, it was very, very hard to have a straight face. And do y'all remember your two characters?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I would come up with characters and make comments.
We need to play more characters.
She's all like Ahsoka Tano and everything. She's cool.
She looks over and it's like, what are they doing?
We were like Beavis and Butthead for her. It was very fun.
So it was impossible to get work done when they were like, to my left.
Yeah, it is pretty common in animation to record in the round, kind of like an old-time radio play. But over the course of the last couple of years, it's changed quite a bit also, and we're all pretty much in our little padded rooms talking to ourselves. But now it's wonderful to be on stage together because it's like reliving those moments.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Amazing. This side. What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Austin from Milwaukee, Oregon. First off, I just want to say thank you for making Saturday mornings for me and my brothers a little bit better, being able to watch the new Clone Wars episode every week. My question is, do each of you have an individual favorite episode from the show?
Ooh, no pressure.
Ladies first.
Oh. Well, it's funny because my favorite episode is probably The Wrong Jedi, which just had its 10th anniversary yesterday. But it's the season 5 finale. As devastating as it is, it's just such an incredible moment for Ahsoka.
I think that it changes for me all the time, but I always do go back to the Mortis arc. Yeah, because it was so kind of crazy and just dealt with the Force, and it just felt so like, the mythos of it all was just so cool in that arc of episodes.
Yeah, and when it happened, we were the first ones to kind of experience this shift. That George was like, we're going to explore these things in a way that we never had before. And we were all kind of tripping out in the studio that day going like, wow, what does this mean for the future and how the Force works? It was really awesome. Dee?
That's a really hard one because there's just so much beautiful writing and so many great episodes. For me personally, I will choose today the death of Fives and when we lost Fives because of what that was and what it meant and what it almost was. So for me personally, yeah.
Thank you.
Man. Oh, what about Obi-Wan? You don't want to know Obi-Wan? The Force is strong with me too. No, I would have to say, spoiler alert, season 5 with the Duchess and Darth Maul. We would get these scripts, you have to understand, we'd get the scripts pretty much when we walked in. So we never knew what we were going to say. So when you hear us say these fantastic lines that these amazing, talented people said, it was usually the first, second, or third time they ever spoke those words. And so when that happened with the Duchess, I didn't know until the end. I kept expecting Anakin and Rex and Ahsoka to walk in and save the day, but they didn't. And so it's tragedy, but it's still one of my favorites because it's so beautiful. And that was the beauty of what they were able to accomplish with this show, was this was not a cartoon. This was a series of serious drama and epic proportions, I think, on a weekly basis in 22 minutes.
So that's how talented everybody here is. First take, best take.
It usually was. I mean, it was just a couple of reads, and then we pretty much moved on.
That's incredible and also devastating to hear. This side, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Laura, and I'm from California.
Laura?
Yes. So kind of tagging along to what James said, my favorite part of the Clone Wars was all the Satine and Obi-Wan stuff, and I am livid it hasn't been mentioned in the live action. So my question for all of you is, if you could have one scene from the Clone Wars that hasn't been mentioned in live action, what would you pick and why?
Wow, that's a great question.
Look at you. You got us all silent. That never happens.
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's so many. Well, obviously we've seen Ahsoka, the fact that she's met Luke now, and hopefully we eventually see how they actually met. But I wonder if she met Leia.
Ooh, that was a great sound.
And I don't know. That's just me as a fan. Would love to see it.
I don't know. I think it would be fun to see Ahsoka's intro in live action. I think that'd be kind of, and
Jedi
Anakin's
Master
response to
Pope.
that in live action. I think that would kind of be fun. I'll go with that.
I'd like to see how Rex, Gregor, and Wolf got together and just kind of set up their own little Gilligan's Island hunting for sandworms life on that planet together. That just sounds kind of fun to me.
That's another spin-off show right there. Look at that. More
It might
shows
be a
with Dee Bradley
sitcom,
Baker.
actually.
Yeah.
You got Gregor involved.
Who took my cereal? Right. I am partial to the Satine storyline. Ashley and I, years ago, back in like season 1 or 2, we talked about, wouldn't it make a great Broadway musical? Obi-Wan and Satine together when they were younger? All the girls in the crowd are going, ooh.
If you really want to get under Dave Filoni's skin, tell him that you want a musical episode of the Clone Wars. He literally hates the idea. And
Everyone get your phone out.
always ask him to have a musical episode.
I have the high ground.
Matt, your response?
No response.
Thank you.
All in this together.
Ooh,
We're going to do it. We're going
what's
to
the
make a
name?
Clone Wars musical right
what's that?
now. We're almost
Mic
there.
on?
Yeah. Wait, what's your name, where you're from, but also what's the name of the snake?
His name is Kyle Romaro. My name is
Gosh,
Zeke,
I thought it
and
was wrong.
I'm from Renton, Washington. And first and foremost, I want to say happy 15th anniversary to you guys.
Thank
Give
you.
a hand. Yeah. Fun. So I wanted to ask, what's it like doing voice work in the Lego Star Wars games, like Lego Star Wars 3 and Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which came out last year?
Those were great fun. Great fun to get to create some of the lines that were classic lines from the films and stuff and get to say them, like the
Yeah.
high ground and such. That was great fun. Lego is such an amazing thing. It used to be, you remember the old days? We would do Legos and it was, and we would just, make little funny noises. So they were fun. I don't know, Dee, do you got thoughts on those?
They're fun. I mean, they're silly and they're free and they've got a lot of license to go to wacky places, and they're light. There's just like little light, fun little potato chips of a show, that you're doing. And there's nothing heavy. There's nothing serious. It's all just fun. So I hope they keep making them because it's a nice little counterpoint. You can go, from that all the way to Andor. Everything in terms of tone. But they're great.
Yeah. And Ashley, I don't think you've had my answer. What was it like working in Lego Star Wars 3?
I didn't work in Lego Star Wars 3.
What?
Yeah. Is
Let's
Ahsoka-
revolt.
Is Ahsoka in it?
Yeah, you did.
Don't ask me. I don't even remember the
It
stuff
was the
that
Lego
I'm
Star Wars 3 to Clone
Can somebody
Wars.
ask Chat
Clone Wars- the Clone
GPT
Wars,
what
not
actually
the
happened?
Skywalker saga.
Oh, okay.
No, really, I saw the behind the scenes video of it.
Oh, that one, like back in the day. I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about like
yeah.
the current
was,
ones.
He
It was a
Anakin.
dark
She
chapter.
wasn't really there, if you know
It
what
was
I
a
mean.
dark chapter in
I like that
Ashley's
you
life.
came with receipts, that you saw the video and you knew that she was in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got a
I
good
thought-
brain.
I thought y'all were talking about the one that just happened.
were, but then.
Yes.
It was both games.
Gotcha. Okay. It was amazing. It was hard, actually, to do the voice of your character and not say any lines. And then on top of it, I actually lost my voice that day. So halfway through the session, we had to just stop because I had no voice to finish it, and then had to come back. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I learned from these guys. Matt and I were fairly new to voiceover, and Dee and James especially, they were just icons. So they would teach us along the way of how to do this. And, you know, we recorded that game, though, by ourselves. So I had to channel your advice that day.
And you lost your voice following our advice. don't follow our
What did you
advice.
guys tell her? Just scream as loud as you can?
No,
I told her to scream into a pillow before every session.
Well, no, I actually lost my voice because I was really sick that day. That's why. But to that point, though, video games, so you are by yourself when you record those, and you do an entire video game in one day, unless you lose your voice and then you have to come back in. But it's like 6 hours of literally talking and screaming and grunting and all of the sounds. So
like
it
a
is
Comic-Con.
very easy to lose your voice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ravenclaw?
Oh, yeah. So today, me and my wife are doing Harry Potter. Yesterday and tomorrow are Mandalorian suits. So.
What are you doing next week, though? What are you...
Oh, probably going back to work.
Financial analyst.
I thought we were going to get a whole rundown.
First, also your name and where you're from.
So my name is Sam. I'm coming back from Guam. I was over there for 4 years, thanks to the Navy.
Thank you for
Wow,
Thank you
Now-
for your service.
Thank you. And now I'm in Portland, so we drove up from there. My question is, what is your favorite character from the Star Wars franchise other than the ones you voice acted? Except for Dee Bradley Baker, what is your favorite clone that you voice acted?
Choose between your children.
Okay, if I have to choose one clone, then I'll say 99. I'll do that. I've got a lot of favorite clones, and I love all the clones. But my favorite Star Wars character of all Star Wars characters is the Tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back. That is my favorite character because when I saw that Tauntaun way back when in the theater, I knew that this was going to be a fantastic movie. And it was. It was an unforgettable experience to see that movie and not know anything that was coming at me because in those days you couldn't know. And that Tauntaun was the tip-off of the awesomeness that was coming. And because of that, that Tauntaun is my favorite Star Wars character.
Can you give us a little tauntaun?
Thank you.
And then what if we cut you open?
I was gonna say, did it give you the warm and fuzzies?
A little stinky.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Everybody else, favorite Star Wars characters?
Mine's definitely R2-D2. A longtime R2-D2 fan, and he's actually like the unsung hero of Star Wars. Because if you think about it, so many characters would have died had R2 not saved their life, and we'd have a very different story. Sorry, Matt.
Sorry. Gosh, okay. I was gonna say R2.
Darth Vader.
Well, I voiced Darth Vader
Well,
in Rebels.
you have voiced Darth
Right,
Vader.
so I sort of can't pick Vader.
with
right?
James Earl Jones.
Yes. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know they layered our voices? Yeah? Okay.
Wasn't very
What a life.
excited. I was very
I think
excited
that is
for
like
you.
one of the coolest things ever. For what it's worth, Matt, I'm with you.
Okay, let's see. I like Han Solo. I mean, that's classic.
Solid.
Yeah, solid choice, right?
James?
D? Oh, you already spoke, yes. Yeah, that's right. Yes, thank you.
That's what I said.
But, you always want to try to choose one that is, like Uncle Owen. No.
Which Uncle Owen?
Yeah, that's the problem now. Well, I like Master Plo Koon, of course, but I voice him. I like Ahsoka Tano. Actually, with all seriousness, my absolute favorite character in Star Wars The Clone Wars has always been Ahsoka Tano. So, there you go. And I'm not saying it because she's right there.
Thanks, James. I'll pay you later.
Okay.
Thanks to all of you. I just want to say that I love all of your work. You guys are great.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
And I'm a Ravenclaw as well.
Yes. All the Ravenclaws are so happy right now. Back over to this side. What's your name and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Owen. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time at a Comic-Con in general. So
Oh, welcome.
Owen, there's no way to mess this up.
I hope so.
We're all on your side.
How does it feel to know you helped shape people's childhoods?
You know, somebody was asking me that at the table today, and I relate to that so much. People that grew up on the Clone Wars, because I had things that I grew up with as well. Like for me, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was X-Men, and it's like a part of my childhood. So I totally get that response from people when they talk about the Clone Wars was their thing. I just love that. I think it's so cool.
To me, it's a responsibility because Star Wars means to us as much as it means to you all. And I don't know, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but it's like to be cast in Star Wars is a privilege. And it's one that I feel like we constantly strive to live up to. And so people ask all the time, they're like, why do you care about your character so much? I'm like, well, because it's more than a character. This is more than a story. It's a lifestyle. And, you know, people live it and breathe it, and we're inspired by it. So it's definitely a responsibility and one that we do not take lightly.
You've all done a great job.
Thank you. It's a wonderful thing as an actor to connect with an audience and to feel like what you're creating means something. And so that's the great affirmation that we get when we visit you here today and we get to talk to you and say hello, is that we realize that we're not just making potato chips, but we're making a meal. We're making something.
He's hungry, isn't he?
A lot of chip references.
You're making me hungry.
Are there
I
not
know,
enough
I
chips in
just-
the green room?
That's all I've eaten today are chips. So I've just got chips on my mind. But it's a wonderful feeling.
And I think the coolest thing about it for all of us, certainly for folks like Dee and myself as voice actors that have lived and breathed voice acting for so long, although all three of these folks are very talented on-camera actors as well and performers, but it's the fact that it gave voice to voice actors in a way that had never really been done in Star Wars before, because there's wonderfully talented voices in Star Wars that were never on camera. So I just love that we get to connect in that way as well, because so many of you are fans of voice actors, and for that I just say God bless you and thank you so much, because we're passionate about telling stories and being other than these guys. We get to be anything. That's the coolest part of it.
Thank you. Where are you from? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Miley from Maple Valley. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for Star Wars. I've grown up on it, and Ashley, you especially, Ahsoka,
thank
is
you.
definitely my favorite. And
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, what is y'all's favorite episode or episodes that you voiced, or what's the funniest one that you voiced in your opinions?
Ooh, funniest.
Funniest. Dee, you're a funny guy.
I was like, Matt, you're definitely a hilarious character on the show.
I don't know if it was funny, but when Dee was the Geonosian queen, I thought it was one of the most fantastic things to witness.
What brings you to my underworld chambers?
It's so good.
Beautiful in all gender expressions.
I think I have a lozenge, if you'd like one.
No.
Some of the funniest moments, unfortunately, were the ones behind the scenes that never were filmed. One of my favorites, I think you played like an intoxicated clone one time. What do you remember what I'm talking about? Maybe not a clone.
Maybe it was Dee.
But no, you or pirate. Was it a pirate?
It was a Pirates. Oh. Yeah, with Hondo and all.
We claim fire, you know.
Yeah, I don't really remember the funny moments, but it was usually me laughing at them. It was just always we were just always being really, really silly behind the scenes. And Dave, I was always laughing too much, And so Dave, at the beginning of every episode, we'd have a routine, and he would say, "Okay, Eckstein, come in here, ball up your cuteness." He called me laughing my cuteness, and I'd have to ball it up in a ball and literally throw it out of the studio. And then, true story, oh gosh, I don't mean to get him in trouble, but he would tell me to think of dead puppies. So it would make me sad, and I wouldn't be like, which makes me incredibly sad, so I wouldn't be so bubbly and...
Yeah, you go.
and big.
Okay, dead puppies, Ashley.
It is.
Terrible.
It's what he would say, and it would. It would instantly make me sad, and then I'd be ready to record an episode.
Of one of the youngest, lightest characters in the franchise.
And that's the inspiration for Ahsoka Tano.
Yes. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I love your T-shirt.
What's your name and where are you from?
All right, I'm Zach from Everett, Washington, and my question, someone kind of asked this earlier, but when you guys returned to reprise your roles in the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga game, how stoked were you guys to get to like say these iconic lines from the prequel trilogy and like get to redo them and record them?
Well, I wasn't stoked.
Yeah.
I was massively stoked.
It's coarse and it's irritating. And it gets everywhere.
I found it cool that people did like fan videos where they took the movie and then they dubbed our voices in. I thought it was kind of funny, but you know, we're big nerds for this. We love all this, and we love what these amazing actors have brought to these characters. I remember years ago I was in a panel, and they said, the best things about the prequels, and I said 2 words, Ewan McGregor, you know?
Yeah.
So to get to share lines with them and stuff, it's a great honor. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Lego love today.
Yeah. What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Daniel Lyons, and I'm from Spokane, Washington.
Hi.
My quick question would be, I'm into voice acting myself and beginning journey. What would be the one piece of advice that you guys could give to voice actors that are beginning in their journey in this time?
Go to
Bradley
Dee's
Baker's
website.
Well, I have a website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com where I share everything that I can think of that I have learned about becoming a voice actor. And check out my completely free website and start your journey there. iwanttobeavoiceactor.com.
Yes.
And other than that, trust yourself, learn to improvise, become a good actor. Become so good that they have to hire you. And that's pretty much it.
Simple.
Yeah.
And
Love the craft of it, yeah.
Don't give up. Voice acting did not come super easy to me in the beginning. I auditioned for about 4 years, probably like 400 auditions before I got Ahsoka. And so that was a lot of rejection. And had I given up, which many times I wanted to, I never would have gotten this character that completely changed my life. So just keep going.
Thank you. Our Twi'lek. What's your name and where are you from?
So my name is Janae, and I'm from Lacey, Washington. And first off, I just want to say I'm so excited to be here and to be able to talk to you guys. I've been watching Clone Wars since I was 5 years old, so to grow up with it fully and completely, and to grow with especially Ahsoka has been an amazing experience.
Oh, thank you. And your Hera is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
She did that all herself, too.
So my question is you guys have voiced a lot of different characters from Rebels to Lego Star Wars to Clone Wars. What character traits do you think that you share with some of the characters you've voice acted?
I think it's pretty cool that when you look at photos of all of us, we've done a lot of cast photos through the years, that there's some similarities to our characters. And I think we all kind of had the same traits and stuff too, that we would take them on at least at times. And Dee would be everywhere. Because
I don't feel anything like any characters. I mean, half of what I do is non-human. It's very odd to be an actor where you're paid to not be yourself, but you pull from yourself to create what you make. But in a sense, you are not what you make. You are this is a creation that you put out into the world, and then the animators and the lighting people and the timing people and everybody else, and of course the writers who started the whole process, they all come together to make this thing. But it's an odd thing, because in some sense you identify with what you make, because you pull it from your inner palette of emotion and imagination. But in another sense, it's not yours. It's not you. You don't own it, but it's your voice. It's very odd. It's a very odd thing.
Whoa, I'm like tripping on Rex right now, man. What your palette is very different than ours, though, Dee. You have a special palette and a special uvula, as you say.
Yes, I do. But
have you seen that guy's uvula?
It's a family show, Anakin. It's a family show.
I will say, I think Matt and I kind of have the different experience from Dee, though, because I, for Ahsoka, was specifically cast to be myself. Dave originally wanted Ahsoka to have an Icelandic accent. I could not do an Icelandic accent. I tried, and Dave watched me talk in between takes, and when I got the part, I was shocked, and they were like, no, we don't want you to do Icelandic. Just be yourself. And so we didn't know what we wanted Ahsoka to be. So for the first 6 months, it was kind of like trial and error. And I feel very fortunate that Dave was like, just be you. Bring your own voice, bring your own heart and soul and humor and sarcasm and personality to this character. So, and even in the beginning, I don't know if y'all have seen this, because I'm sure all of our facial expressions are on the characters, but they filmed our faces in the beginning for the animators so that they could get the emotions and expressions. So some of my facial expressions are even on Ahsoka, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, Ahsoka is a piece of my heart and soul on screen, because I feel very fortunate I was asked to bring that. And in many ways, even though obviously Hayden had already been in the films, Anakin in Clone Wars is you.
Yeah, my hot temper, my skewed idea of what love is,
your charming
evil.
good looks.
I have an
You're
affinity.
deeply evil person.
Yes, I have an affinity towards power, and yeah, so.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez, Sky Guy.
Oh, yes!
But it really was, though, off of what Ashley was saying, you were asked in the first audition, it was a combo of Luke and Han?
Yeah, they gave me a scene with R2. They didn't tell me anything about the character when I auditioned, but it was a Luke R2 scene, but he gave me the instruction, whatever you think Luke and Han would sound like together. That was my note, and I guess they kind of liked what I did, because that's all you have to go on. It's inherently a part of you that's going to be behind that voice. So I guess that's, it worked.
Thank you, Hera.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. My question was, what is your favorite relationship, not necessarily romantic, but more like platonic or maybe even antagonistic, in the Clone Wars, Rebels, or Star Wars in general?
I like Cutler Quain and his family. I thought that's a unique relationship and a unique situation for a clone, and I particularly like Cutler Quain because of that.
I like Jedi Master Plo Koon and Ahsoka Tano. Kotoya, little Ahsoka. I'd love someday for them to do an animated story of that, and I'd love Ashley and I to get to play those parts.
Throw it out into the
Take your
universe.
phones back out, go to Twitter.
So Matt and I are laughing because, I was cast as Ahsoka before Matt was cast as Anakin. There was another Anakin that had started out and unfortunately was recast, but fortunately Matt joined the cast, and So we had already been recording for about 6 months, and Dave Filoni had like hammered in my head, well, the fans are gonna want something to be between Anakin and Ahsoka, but there's nothing there. It's like brother and sister, relationship. So apparently, the first day I met Matt, and I'll let Matt finish it.
Well, I walk in. I'm like, hi, how you doing? How you doing? It's Ashley. Hey, how's it going? By the way, Anakin and Ahsoka are completely platonic, okay? There's nothing going on. They're like brother and sister, all right? I'm like, okay. Nice to meet you too. Got it.
So yeah, that's my
That was my
favorite.
introduction to Ashley.
Yeah, that's our favorite platonic relationship.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I moved from the DC area about 18 months ago. I now live near Tacoma.
Welcome.
And my question, I guess, is for all of you as well. If you could choose to be cast in any role in any of all the Star Wars universe, who would you choose and why?
Dun dun dun.
Other than our characters?
If you could choose any other role in all the films, any Star Wars universe.
There was a cool character on The Mandalorian. His name was Lieutenant Lant Davin. He was a cool character. Yes.
We're
Didn't
hoping
get
for
much
the
screen
spin-off.
time. They killed him pretty quick.
But is he really dead?
I don't know. Is he?
Star Wars is known for their prequels.
That's right. But he was cool. You probably don't even know who he was, do you? You do? Oh, okay.
It was you, Matt.
Well, I haven't read all of the books yet, but some fans have said that if I got to play a character in live action, maybe Avar Kriss from the High Republic. So I would love that. Either that or if I ever got to maybe play the daughter of Mortis. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, look at that. I got to do a fan-made film by my friend Jamie Costa called Kenobi before the Kenobi series came out, and I got to play a bad guy, and that was pretty cool. I got to be on the other side of things and see, and that was fun. It's always fun to play bad guys, isn't it, Dee? We like to.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but some little character somewhere. So in the in the casino scene in the which now I'm getting confused with all the films. I got to do the voice of the little guy. Place your bets. Place your bets. So I've had fun playing voices of other characters like that, but on camera would be fun and have prosthetics put on and stuff. Some type of alien would be cool.
Honestly, I'd like to be Greedo. When I saw that movie, because I'm old enough to have originally seen that movie, I remember watching it, and here's Greedo, and he's talking, and I'm like, oh my God, there's subtitles. They're using subtitles. This is awesome. And I thought that was just the coolest thing that they would have. I really did. I was so excited as a little nerd boy watching episode 4 with a subtitled alien, and that just completely blew my mind. And so I would want to be Greedo. That would be my choice.
Yeah.
So
and you would be awesome.
We're laughing because we love you so much, Dee, and we've missed
I like that you said
so
little
much.
nerd boy.
Yeah.
Little nerd boy.
I'm a little nerd boy.
But yeah, Dee and I are the older guys in the crew here, and I remember it was, you have to understand, that had never been done before. Just like space was never dirty before. It was always 2001, everything was pristine. So when people said Star Wars, what do you think? It was like, it was filthy. You know, it was fantastic. It was gritty and real. So that was...
Look, it's filthy. Isn't that awesome?
This is awesome.
Dirty, filthy space machines. This is great. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. How
You had to be there, I
exciting that
guess.
was.
Yeah.
You know what's also awesome is that there's a little Stinky.
Yeah, look at that.
Aww.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Tell us your name besides Anakin and where you're from.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Rick. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. And so my question is, so as we know, when Clone Wars was originally canceled, there were a lot of episodes that were started but not finished. Some of them adapted in season 7, some of them in comics or books. But I was wondering, out of all the episodes that were never finished, if you guys could, have one of them realized, which one would you like to have finished?
I would want the one finished that has the Bad Batch in it, that they ended up finishing. That would be my choice.
Well, Matt, we did that one. Remember with James Hong and all that? Yeah, where we were out. By the campfire, and several folks have animated. And there's one beautifully animated version of it. Y'all know the episode we're talking about? They released some of the audio of that, but I don't know if it was the full episode.
I don't know.
Because we explored, it was when Anakin was really struggling with Ahsoka being gone. And it was the one time where Obi-Wan and Anakin got to have that conversation about her.
Yeah.
It was very dramatic.
Yeah, I've seen. It was a fan animated thing, but it was our voices. I honestly don't even remember.
Well, they took the audio
that
that had been released.
Voicing that.
You don't remember half the stuff.
I literally don't. Me and Ashley were always tipsy.
How far did we?
What has begun here?
I don't know.
The rumors. Oh my
How
God.
far did we get? Did we get into a season 8 before they pulled the plug?
Yeah, we were teetering on the edge of that. There was a lot that was recorded. George Lucas originally said he wanted to do 300 episodes of the Clone Wars. I know, right?
What could have been.
Oh. Ashley, what about you?
I think they made everything that I recorded because they did adjust it, but the episodes with Trace and Rafa and the Martez sisters, that was originally an arc with Ahsoka had a boyfriend, and his name was Nick Okami. And so yeah, it was originally that arc. So we essentially just remade it, and they changed it to the Martez sisters, which I have to say, I was very glad they changed it to the Martez sisters because Ahsoka didn't have time for a boyfriend. Like, I wasn't super crazy about that.
It's all platonic here.
Thank you guys. May the force be with you.
And also with you.
Force be with you.
You're stuck with me, Sky Guy.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm from Lacey, Washington, and I grew up on the Clone Wars. So my earliest memories are watching it when I was like 3 and watching the premieres come out, and I turned 18 2 weeks ago. So that's
Happy birthday!
Oh, thank you. But my question is from my friend who can't be here, but she was wondering, what are your thoughts on, since the animated shows were my entrance into the Star Wars universe, what do you think about them possibly doing animated shows for some of the sequels that have been coming out?
Ooh.
I think animation is always the way to go. But I'm biased.
Yeah, more Star Wars is always good, so why not? Yeah.
You guys, we're all so polite today. Oh, I don't want to tell you. It's Dee. Dee brings out the polite part.
No,
Usually we're walking all over each other.
No, he said it. I think more Star Wars is great. It's a pretty awesome time to be a Star Wars fan with all the content coming out. It's Star Wars is fun. That's the bottom line.
And there's so many stories that haven't been told yet. So that's what I think is really exciting. I mean, even just Tales of the Jedi that came out. Did you all see Tales of the Jedi? You know, who would have thought that these shorts could be so powerful? So yeah, I hope there's animation for many, many years to come.
I love those. Those were great.
So
Tales of
good.
the Jedi were just
And,
great.
and to be fair to that notion there, the micro series of the Clone Wars, which I was very honored to be a part of as Obi-Wan. Anybody know those? Gendy had done a tremendous job with those, and it shows the power of it because that's what actually got us to where we all could sit here and do this. So it's pretty cool.
Clone fans, and I know there are a few here, I want to say that the next episode of The Bad Batch is my favorite of season 2. And there's a new favorite clone in this episode. It's called The Outpost. I think it's 12 is coming up next. So watch for that. Watch for that next one. See what you think.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Devin. I'm from Spokane, Washington. And my brother couldn't be here this weekend, so I have a question from him for you guys. So his question is, for someone who has never seen Clone Wars, which single story arc do you think they should watch to give them like the biggest impact of Star Wars?
Wow.
Biggest impact?
Each of us will have a different. I'd say the Duchess Satine and the Mandalorian arc.
Probably.
I'll choose the Umbara arc. I have to. That's a tough one though.
I think we're both going to say the same thing, Mortis.
Well, I don't know. No, I was going to say, I mean, without context, it's going to be really hard, but I mean, just from my perspective, seeing Anakin lose Ahsoka fuels so much more of what we see in Revenge that I think that's really important, but without context of who Ahsoka is, that's tough. So, I don't know. Good question.
Season 7, kind of in its entirety, would be, yeah. Boy, that's tough.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
Siege of Mandalore, those 4 episodes. Yeah, to Matt's point, it's just because it ties in with so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She stumped
Thank
us.
you. I know.
I do want to say, I don't know if we're going to get to everyone in line, and I'm going to apologize in advance.
Okay, we'll do
if we
speed
get-
round.
So
Okay,
let's
yes.
ask the
Yep.
answer.
Speed round.
Okay.
Just yes, no questions.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm David from Homer, Alaska, and my question is, what is it like voicing 70% of a show, Dee Bradley Baker, and for everyone else, what is it like being in the same recording studio while he's switching back and forth?
Terrifying.
It's a living nightmare. It just it's very weird. It's very weird, and it's a lot of fun, and it's and I love it. I don't know that I'll ever get to do anything like this in my life. It's wonderful.
It's a master class. Watching him.
Yeah, here's the thing you all have to realize. Every single one of these characters has the same set of vocal cords, the same face, the same everything, and yet they have different personalities. And Dave would say, well, this guy is like this, T. And he'd go, oh, okay, so you want him like this?
Dave Filoni sounds like Truman Capote.
He sounds, it's David Spade.
I
a
never
little,
realized
no touchy, no touchy.
Which is 0 that.
But yeah,
Okay, so I want
it is
you to do
amazing to
this
watch
so
him
much.
change because it's really a masterclass in that it's the same character, but it's not. So, because, you know, if you do Obi-Wan and Plo Koon together, well, Obi-Wan's talking here, Jedi Master Plo
We're
Koon's
speeding through
here.
this answer, aren't we?
And then you know where you're going, but with him, he's got to stay consistently the same without being the same. It's amazing. Great Scott, Marty.
You done, James?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry. No, let me tell you a little bit more.
Thank you. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Jack. I'm from Chehalis, Washington. And I got. What is your guys' favorite antagonist in Star Wars?
I'm going to say Ventress.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Ventress too. I love Ventress, and I love the Witch Sisters, and I think Ventress is I would love to see so much more of Ventress. I love what Nika did with that character, and it's a really interesting character that goes through interesting transformations. I think Ventress is really cool.
I'm gonna agree with that, but I'm also gonna say Cad Bane, and it's pretty cool that we've got to see. Corey Burton is a legend in the world of voice acting. If you don't know who Corey Burton is, please look him up and look at his amazing resume. But what he did with that character, as well as Zero and Count Dooku, who Christopher Lee himself said when he heard him, "Why do you need me?" And so Cad Bane is a runner-up for me, but I love Ventress as well.
Corey made a really cool character with that, and that's his brilliance, is that he starts doing something, and it's riveting and surprising, and it's an amazing thing to witness. It's great.
I would have said Cad Bane, but I'll say Hondo now.
Yeah.
Because he's fun.
And Jim Cummings, now here's this thing you have to imagine. Jim Cummings comes in to do this character Hondo, and then they love him so much, they just keep writing him in because he just took it and Jim is just amazing with these characters and watching him do that. So yeah, sorry.
Thank you. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name is Logan. I'm from the Bremerton area. And starting out, recording this show, did you guys ever expect it to come as massive and influential as it did?
I knew from the
Yes,
first
of course,
season,
absolutely.
the first
Yes,
session, this is
definitely.
going to go big, and we're going to be at Emerald City Con someday doing this. I could see it.
I mentioned when I was cast, they were just like, yeah, it's like a Star Wars cartoon. Like that was it. Like, oh, okay, all right. And then, this happens. It's kind of
But,
wild.
of course, no, and like Carrie Fisher used to say, yes, of course I knew. But to be fair, at the same time, I think we all also, when we went to the premiere and stuff, we were really hoping that people would take to it because I think we all knew it because we had been doing it for 2 years prior.
We were definitely hoping, but not, I don't think we were hoping for this. We were just hoping that you all would love it as much as we did. And yeah, it's really special to be here 17 years later. And to hear that it shaped childhoods is incredible.
Can you explain why we say 17 as opposed
Oh, yes.
This was
because
explained to me backstage.
So we started recording together in February of 2006. So we worked together for 2 years before you all ever saw it in August of 2008.
My daughter was just a baby. We had just brought back from China. We adopted her. And now she's here, and she's 18 years old. And it's amazing to see. She's grown up with all you amazing people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
I love your sweatshirt.
Thank you. I was going to mention that. You designed some very nice clothing.
Thank you.
My name is Trace. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I just had a question of, do you guys have any projects or anything like that that you wish Star Wars would create that you guys could voice?
Pitch your TV shows now.
Well, there's a lot of time for Ahsoka. There's a lot of time in between Clone Wars and Rebels that, other than the Ahsoka book and the little bit in Tales of the Jedi, hasn't been explored. So I'd love, and preferably in animation if possible, we'd get to explore that.
I would love a Ventress-centric series.
You want me to go or you got something?
I mean, we kind of saw Anakin's whole deal, didn't we? Maybe when
those
he was
earlier
like,
years.
yeah, 0 to 6 months. That would be really cool to see.
Little Annie.
I would love to see Obi-Wan, the younger stuff, and
I play the voice of Johnny Test, who's 11 years old, so why couldn't I play a young Jedi? It'd be totally cool.
No, I would love to go back and hear more of Obi-Wan's story, and really see that laid out, and see Satine and him together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name's Olivia. I'm from the Redmond area. My question is.
You're good.
My question is, what is your favorite part about being your characters?
Getting to meet people like you, Olivia. Honestly, I mean, all of you make our lives so wonderful. You bless us so much because we just were actors getting to be, nerds in Star Wars. But meeting all of you and having you all come up to the table and say hello there, it's fantastic. So thank you for being you.
I would go off the same thing. I mean, like the Star Wars fandom to me truly feels like a family. And I always say this when we're talking about, like, I see a Star Wars bumper sticker and I'm like, I want to talk to that person. I want to know what do they think about these things. And it's just a cool bond that I think we all have as fans. And I'm just so, humbled to be a part of it.
Ditto.
I like what it means to people's lives.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Just in case anyone's legs hurt and they want to sit down, we probably have time for 2 or 3 more questions.
Sorry, we didn't
based
get
on
through
how
everybody.
It's been going. So, hello. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Brighton. I'm from Auburn, Washington. I was wondering, what was your favorite line to say while animating?
Ooh. How good is your memory?
Well, I will say, I didn't realize that when Ahsoka said, "I'm no Jedi," I didn't realize that would become as popular as it did. But Dee, I think one of my favorite moments was when you and I together for Siege of Mandalore said, I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. And then you came back. That episode was so important that we actually did temp recording, which means they weren't really going to use it for the episode. They wanted us to temporarily record it to give it to the animators, and then we would come back later and record it. But Dee, I don't know if you remember this, we were so emotionally invested in that scene that they actually used our temp recording for it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's back to the first take, best take from the start.
This is where the fun begins.
I like the episode where it was a first multiple clone, kind of an Ice Station Zebra episode with all the clones. This is in the first season. And Heavy is pinned down by the droids. And the droid, I believe the line is, do we take prisoners? And then Heavy says, I don't. And he blows them all up, including himself. It was a cool, heroic moment, I thought.
2, Obi-Wan. No, Anakin, she's not my girlfriend. And then Plo Koon, not to me.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, so my name's Joshua. I'm from Estacada, Oregon. Oh, Jesus.
No problem, man.
Sorry,
You're doing
sorry,
great.
I stutter.
No,
Well,
you're
Don't
fine.
apologize.
Not a problem.
You are fantastic. James Earl Jones, you're in good company, man. You're in good company.
So my question to you guys is that I've been curious about your opinions on the Star Wars sequels, because as far as I know, the majority of Star Wars fans hate it.
I'm one of those people. We're kind of divided. We're like the light side and dark side in our family. He likes them, I don't.
Yeah.
And we constantly talk about it
I'm one of the guys who at actually
random.
likes the sequels.
Yeah, we constantly talk about it at random.
Okay, so Star Wars sequels.
The sequels contain which?
The prequels or the sequels? So we want 1 through 3?
I think we
Or
9 through 12.
Yeah.
or no, 7, 8, 9.
The new ones.
The new ones.
Most recent batch.
7 through 9, yeah.
See, this is what I mean. I don't know anything about the sequels.
You know what? I'll jump in here because
Clouded by the dark side, clearly.
we were all, I think, trained by Dave Filoni, who is trained by George Lucas. And until you hear, Dave or even George break down a Star Wars story, you have a new appreciation for all Star Wars stories. And I feel very privileged that we had a front row seat to hear because, even the prequels, I will say I always love the prequels, but I have so much of a new appreciation after literally getting to work with Dave after so many years. So selfishly, I'll say I really enjoyed the sequels because Ahsoka was included in episode 9, which is a really big deal for her because so many people tried to write her off and say, well, she wasn't in the movies, so it doesn't count. So the fact that they included her in episode 9 was a really big deal because she was cemented in the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I mean, hey, first of all, I thank you for getting up and asking a question. It's very,
Thank you.
very, very brave and inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I do. I love all new Star Wars stuff. If there's new Star Wars to be seen, I'm gonna go watch it. And I just sort of appreciate it all. I mean, I think that at a time where people were hating on the prequels, there's things that I love about the prequels. So I don't know. I always just find the fun, cool stuff in Star Wars and kind of gravitate towards that. And I mean, I guess I've learned over the years too, though, that people that don't like something or they hate it, I find it just comes from a place of passion. And it's because they want it to be good. And it's because we all love Star Wars so much that I think you just have to understand it's just a place of passion and love that someone wants it to be great. So some of the negativity that comes towards certain films or whatever, you just
We can never meet those expectations. Nobody ever can. And as a creator, I think George Lucas saw that very, very clearly too. So, yeah, it's just wonderful privilege. But we've got a negative here now.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. Can we have one more question?
Yes, this will be
Thank
our
you
last
so much.
question.
Thank you so much.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from Auburn, Washington. So since Clone Wars animation or Star Wars animation has expanded so much, what has been your favorite part to do outside of Clone Wars, like Rebels, Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi? And was there like a memorable part for you? Voicing or doing anything in those? Sorry, I can't.
That's
You're
okay.
fine.
No, all of them.
Great question.
Yeah, it is a great question. I don't know. Dee, you got to?
I've got a new favorite character, but you haven't seen it yet.
There he goes.
Its name is Nubs, and it's a little blue furry thing that's coming out, and you'll see him in May.
Are you supposed to be saying these things? Are you going to get in trouble now?
It's his show. What are they going to do? Fire him?
They got to replace the whole cast if they did that.
Yeah, the Young Jedi show that's coming out in May. That's a fun character for me.
May 4th.
That's right, May 4th.
Be with you.
Anyone else?
Anytime I get to step into Ahsoka's boots is a favorite time for me. I think one thing that was really hard that I don't talk about a lot was the Ahsoka book. I did the audiobook for Ahsoka, and it's a wonderful book if you haven't read it. If you're not a big reader, check out the audiobook. It was really hard, but it was a lot of fun.
I did love Tales. I thought it was cool. I know you already said it, but it's just the little snippets. The idea of that is just really, it's cool how this little tiny moment shapes something so big down the line.
Thank you for your question. Now, just to clarify, we're all three here. We're doing signing and photos for the next 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Three of you.
We're all here for the 3
I'm
days.
here too.
Right? Okay.
Can we do something before everyone goes though? Because James, you have your phone.
I do.
Are
I was
we
going
able
to say,
to
let's
bring up
get
the
everyone in the
lights a
middle
little
and take a
bit?
picture.
Take a picture of you
And
all.
let's try to get like a selfie photo or
Yes.
a video
Yes, you want to
of
do it?
everyone.
Okay, can we get...
Let's do dueling.
Oh,
Can you take 2 phones? Yeah. You are a superhero.
Thank you. All right, everybody, big smiles, right? And when they go, you say, hello there. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for
May the
joining
force
us.
be with
Have a
you.
great
Bye, guys.
Comic-Con.
Thank you.